And welcome to the Burger and Badass Show, episode 11. We are back to do our thing again and talk a little bit of college football. And we are now officially, next week will be officially the Dirty Dozen of the Burger and Badass Show. Can you believe that, Badass?
I know, man. We got going into this thing. Nobody ever thought that this would actually go. It would work. No one. I mean, I wish y'all knew how much shit talking we've heard and how much shit talking we know that has occurred about this little project of ours. And that's cool because, you know, we need all you haters because, believe me, we're not the new age millennial type where we want to do duck face and shit and act like idiots, but we do need your hate because, believe me, I don't know about Burger, but I feed off that shit. That shit makes my teeth whiter in the morning. So
I love it. I like when people hate because pretty much that's showing that they have an opinion. I'm going to give my opinion back. They're going to give their opinion back. And then you know what? We can talk about it on this radio show, and we can laugh about it.
That's what makes this country great, my friend.
So we had a lot happen this week, Badass.
Yes, we did.
A lot. We had championship week. We had the championship playoffs determined. We had the bowl games all done up.
I know. On Sunday they announced it. So for all y'all out there, we are going bowling. Yes, sir.
I love it. I love this time of the season. And I'm telling you, I already looked at the sheets. Wow. I got to say, I really think the committee actually got the season and the bowl games correct.
I don't know. That's up for debate because I'm of the belief that Penn State should have been in there. And I know what's coming. I hear you. Ohio State played the tougher schedule. I hear what you're saying. I do. But fuck that. The deal is this. You didn't even win your conference because you didn't even play for the fucking conference championship, and the person that beat you did and won. So the fuck kind of shit is that? I mean, I pretty much just said you don't have to win a division title when just last fucking year that was crucial. I mean, I do believe TCU got fucked on the very first go-round for not having what? Oh, a championship game to win for their conference. So, to the conference committee out there, all you assholes that are getting to decide the shit that's going on here in football, fuck y'all. Y'all suck.
How do you really feel, Badass?
Fuck them all. I mean, bring the BCS back. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I said it.
No BCS. I can't do the BCS.
Oh, God. Yeah, hey, this shit is worse. At least the goddamn computer didn't have an opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, let's go ahead and get into the show. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh, God, yes. We have a lot to talk about.
We're probably going to have like an hour, maybe even an hour and a half show tonight because there's a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff happened. We need to talk about it. We want to let you guys know how we feel about it. So let's jump right into it. Last week was championship week, and we had a lot of championships decided, and some were surprises. Some games were closer than others, and then some games were blowouts, which we kind of expected. The first one I want to talk about is the ACC title game, where Clemson edged out Virginia Tech 42-35.
That's all I got to say, buddy. Back to back ACC champions.
Yeah, congratulations to the Tigers. They deserved it. They played one hell of a season. Watson is finally coming on his own. I'm telling you, I'm glad to see it. I'm excited because, you know, Watson has a chance to go with the Niners in the draft this year. So, you know, I'm happy to see him do well.
I just got to give it to you again. Hey, it was just so nice I had to do it twice.
All right, so let's talk about that game a little bit because, Badass, me and you actually watched that game on Saturday night. Very exciting game. And we also got the chance to kind of score watch, as you sports guys call it. We got to score watch the Penn State-Wisconsin game.
And that was something else because that game looked like it was thoroughly in hand. Like, Wisconsin was just whipping the piss out of Penn State. I mean, it didn't even look like it was going to be close.
Wasn't it 21-7 at one point?
It was, and it did not look like it was getting any better. And then here come those fucking Nittany Lions.
And they do what they do.
God, yeah, they did.
You know, not to sound kind of outdated, but for Penn State, all they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Oh man, no. You know what? Penn State's been through a lot of bullshit. They do deserve what they are getting. Personally, out there, Nittany Lions, I think you have a case for the fact that you should have been in the Final Four. That's just my opinion. But hell of a season. I mean, my God, hell of a season. And you're going to a wonderful bowl game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Absolutely.
But let's talk a little bit about that Clemson game. I want to get into that a little bit. We watched that game. I'm telling you, it was an exciting game because Clemson, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Clemson likes to get up by 2 or 3 scores and then let Virginia Tech get right back into it.
They do it every day. And not only that, it's annoying because as a Clemson man, you're up by 21 and you're thinking, hey, you should be okay. No, because I'm glad the offense showed up. I am, because the defense was not looking good. Dorian O'Daniel got ejected for that obvious helmet to helmet. I mean, that was,
At first,
I don't know about targeting per se, but it was definitely helmet to helmet. I mean, there was no denying the film. I mean, when they slowed it down, you saw what he did.
I mean, at first when I looked at it, it looked like it was shoulder to shoulder. And then I saw the replay and they slowed it down, and it was definitely helmet to helmet. And I mean, he should have been ejected.
I like the fact that we ran the ball. We didn't shy away from running. You saw Deshaun getting back to that old school power run game. I was just talking about it recently on here that Clemson is at their best when that power running scheme is working. When they are getting 3, 4, 5, 8 chunks at a time and their chain just keeps moving because the run is just working, it's beautiful. Because then when the other opposing defense wants to sell out to stop the run, Deshaun Watson is one of the best at some trickery and doing play action. I mean, it's the old school lull them to sleep and then wham, hit them. And it works when the running game is working. What I saw was our running game working, and as long as that's clicking, we are a really hard team to beat because we have too much fucking talent. It's just, you got Mike Williams covered up, Artavis Scott's open, and you got Scott covered up, Mike's getting open. When neither of them are open, you got Renfro that's getting out there, and then as soon as you forget about him, Deion Kane just scored a fucking touchdown. I mean, we have too much power on offense, and when it's working, we can score 50-plus points a game. That's the shit they were talking about. What the hell happened to us in the middle of the season, I don't know. But now it's getting back to the way it should. But now we also have a tired defense, which they are rotating in and out. But, man, I saw a lot of busted plays.
Well, good thing is now they have a little while before they play. You know,
they got time to get ready.
They got time to get ready. They have time to rest up a little bit, do what they need to do, get back to watching some film on Ohio State. Oops, spoiler alert. My fault, guys. But, you know, do some film, look at the film and stuff like that. Go back to work and be that Clemson defense that we know they can be.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. They do got time to relax. They got time to get healthy if they're a little dinged up. They're definitely going to be watching film. You can bet your ass on that. And let's not forget here, Ohio State is not a piss-poor team. These guys are elite for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone is already saying that Clemson can't beat them. And you know what? That's what they've said every single time we've matched up. And in case you don't know your history, Ohio State has yet to beat Clemson ever.
They said the same thing about Florida State.
Right.
They said Florida State was going to beat Clemson, and they didn't.
No, they didn't.
But in the end, even though they only won by 7, a win's a win.
Win is a win.
In ACC's title.
Hey, you know Tiger Town was rocking, baby. I mean, it's rocking.
I'm sure. I wanted to go downtown, but I kind of leaned against it a little bit because I figured that wouldn't be a good idea to go down there because it's probably really crazy down there.
Yeah.
All the college students down there getting crazy, drinking. Probably not going to end well.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, they're all about to be on the road because a lot of people are going to go out to Glendale.
That's a long trip.
They don't give a fuck.
And, you know, if it would have flipped it around a little bit, they might have had a chance to play really close at home because that's where the other team, I'm not going to say who it is because we're going to wait for a little bit later on the show, but that's where the other team is playing in Atlanta, which is right around the corner.
Very true.
But in the end, I mean, it's a nice trip out west in the warm weather a little bit. Go out there and play out in Arizona. I think Clemson's going to fare well in this game.
We'll see. I want to see what the game plan will be because Brett Venables is going to want to be very aggressive on defense. Urban Meyer knows this. He's going to game plan for it. So we have to, I'm really interested to see these matchups because Ohio State is good, and we beat Braxton Miller at quarterback. This is JT Barrett, so we're going to find out. This boy can slice you up if you're not careful.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to some of the other championship games that we had. The game we just were talking about a little bit ago, Penn State continued the hot streak, coming back and beating Wisconsin to win the Big Ten title. That was a real exciting game.
That was a very exciting game.
I didn't get a chance to watch it because we were watching the Clemson game, but score watching,
I saw the highlights.
Wisconsin was up big, and then all of a sudden Penn State just wore back and got them in the end.
Yeah, they did.
On Friday night, Washington dominated Colorado 41-10.
We saw that one coming.
I mean, we did. I mean, we knew they were going to beat Colorado. We knew probably going to be bad, too.
No, but they looked good doing it, too.
Oh, they did, and they showed, hey, we deserve to be up there.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know as much as you say, Penn State and da-da-da-da. I know, but, Washington did prove a point in there. And winning the Pac-12 title, they proved they deserved to be in the top 4.
I have no problem with Washington being there. It's Ohio State being there and not Penn State. That's my issue.
So, if you did the seedings, right, would you have done like Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Washington 3, Penn State 4?
Absolutely. That would have been the rank.
So you had Alabama, Penn State, which would have been, really, really good game. And then you had Clemson, Washington, which I don't know how well Washington will match up with Clemson. I mean, I think they do pretty well because they're a high-scoring offense. But, they really haven't played a tough defense like Clemson defense this year.
Yeah, but they're very tough on defense themselves. They're very well coached, too.
But, they won the Pac-12 title. We had Alabama, who just pretty much came out and just swatted Florida 54-16. I actually watched this game at Beef O'Brady's. I went there to have a little eat before I went out to watch the Clemson game with Badass this past weekend. And I watched this game, and it looked like Florida came out and they scored the first touchdown. And you're thinking, oh, man, Florida might be for real. They might actually want to keep it up with Alabama. And then Alabama pretty much came in and threw dick on the table and just whooped Florida's ass.
Thank you, Alabama. You once again won me $5 from my boss. He wasn't happy about that at all because at first he wanted to bet on the Wisconsin-Penn State game, and I had Penn State. So, I mean, really, he was fucking losing either way because I gave this man 31 points in Florida. Hell, I wanted to give him 35, and he said 31 was fine. I mean, he was trying to be fair. I offered him 35 points. It still wouldn't have fucking mattered.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't matter at all.
No.
Alabama's defense
just straight tore their
twice.
ass apart. Yeah.
Scored twice, and every time they tried to do a play-action play where they'd, do a little screen pass, Alabama was all over that. Alabama had nothing for it at all. And they just stopped it every time, and it was embarrassing.
I do believe Alabama has scored defensive touchdowns, if not at least one per every game this year. So, yeah, exactly. Are you like, what? Yeah, that's fucking insane.
They scored 2 on Saturday.
Exactly.
I mean, with ease.
Relative ease.
The guy didn't get touched on the interception, the one interception.
See, that's why I'm kind of, you got to watch them sons of bitches. They're good on film. You try that fucking wide receiver screen on them, they're jumping that route, taking that fucking ball to the house saying, fuck you. You got to watch them.
And the last game of the championship week that I wanted to talk about was Western Michigan stayed undefeated by squeaking by Ohio 29-23 to win the MAC championship.
Looking like PJ Fleck is going to be the next coach over there at Notre Dame because he has just been lights out this year with Western Michigan. He's been a great coach for them. Honestly, up until this point, you never even knew who the hell he was. Now, from all my years of watching college football and my nefarious gamblings, I actually do know that team. And let me tell you, most people know they fucking outright sucked. And then he came, turned that shit around. They're undefeated. They won their conference title. And their coach is about to head off to Notre fucking Dame, is what's probably about to happen here. I mean, you talking about fucking riding into the goddamn sunset.
And just another little tidbit for later on, little thing to put back there in your brain real quick. Western Michigan actually got a really, really good bowl game.
Yes, they did.
It's gonna be interesting to watch this game. I mean, really, it's David versus Goliath in this matchup, but I mean, I like to see him come out and keep it fairly close with them, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it with them.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, they're undefeated for a reason, but then again, they're playing in kind of a crappy conference.
That is true, but they also have heart. It doesn't matter what conference you're in, to go undefeated is tough.
Oh, it is, definitely, I agree. Some other games I wanted to talk about last week was we had Oklahoma that handled Oklahoma State 30-20, which kind of surprised me a little bit. We've been betting on Oklahoma State a lot this year. We've been following them a lot, seeing how they do. Some weeks they've done us good, and some weeks they've done us bad. Kind of 50-50 with them. But did this one surprise you that Oklahoma just came in and just tore that ass up?
It didn't surprise me because Oklahoma is a good team. Keep in mind, when Vegas did their rankings, now these are professionals, people. Not amateurs like the college football playoff committee, who they're just a bunch of fucking elitist pricks that all went to fucking nice colleges, and they're all like, ooh, we know what's best. No, not these people. We're talking about actual odd makers, real fucking deal Holyfield line makers, and they all said that Oklahoma should have been the fourth team because they think they're best equipped to actually win a national title. So them actually stomping out their rival, not shocking, but I tell you what, maybe Vegas knows a little bit more. Hint, hint, they're the fucking professionals than we do. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to have my roof done, am I going to hire 3 fucking illegals from the Home Depot that don't know English? Or am I going to hire a roofing company who's actually bonded, insured, and knows what the hell they're doing and can speak English? I mean, y'all can be like, oh, you're a racist. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. All right? No one wants to hear that shit. It's an example. If you would like another one, go fuck yourself. You're not going to have somebody you don't know off the street do anything for you. You're going to be like, why the fuck would I want an amateur?
Exactly. You don't.
No. Hey, Burger, let me ask you something. When you go get a tattoo done, do you let Joe Blow off the street say, hey, let me tattoo you? Or do you go to fucking Uncle Matto at the fucking Tiger?
I get him Uncle Matto at the Tiger.
And why did we go to Uncle Matto at the Tiger?
Because he does the best work.
And he's a fucking professional.
He's a professional. And he works in a professional place. I would not go to some trailer out in the middle of nowhere in bumfuck South Carolina to get a tattoo done.
Right.
Which I'm probably going to end up getting some kind of dirty disease from because he used a dirty needle.
Do you go to Waffle House for steak or do you go to Roost Chris?
J. Peters.
Or J. Peters, exactly. I think the point's been made.
All right. So, some of the other games I want to talk about. Country Roads, West Virginia, barely got by Baylor last week, 24-21, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I figured West Virginia would come out and do pretty good, but they had a little bit of struggles against Baylor.
Baylor always plays them tough, but West Virginia has a knack for beating Baylor. And West Virginia's shown that they can overcome some odds. They can actually play and handle the success, winning. They can handle it. It's hard to handle winning. Most people don't know how to handle that shit. They don't know how to internalize what they're feeling and make it into productive energy. Most people just get caught up with all the bullshit, the headlines, the Facebook, the Twitter accounts. They get all fucking wrapped up in the bullshit and they can't see the bigger picture. But it seems, to me anyway, that's not, I don't know.
I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, It's just
Do you know what I'm getting at? I mean, I know it's kind of hard to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of hard to explain, but I mean, in the end, like I said, for Clemson, a win's a win.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't do it in great fashion, but they won. They did enough that had to be done to win a game, and that's what you win. You come to play, and you come to win the game.
Hello, you play to win the game.
There you go.
You don't play it just to play it. That's
See. Sometimes we don't even need sound clips. We just have our own sound clips. But you know, they won. They came and did what they had to do, and they won a game. That's all that matters. Kind of what the fuck moment of the week. I want to talk about this game. Temple blowing out Navy 34-10. What I thought was the biggest surprise of the week. Because I never expected Navy to get blown out by Temple.
No, I didn't either. I don't know what the hell that was. Everyone said that Temple was going to beat them, and I was like, no way. Navy's the better team. But apparently I don't know what I'm talking about with that one, because, wow, that was one of those moments that you just look at yourself and say, shit, apparently I didn't do enough research on this team. I didn't look at the schemes enough. I didn't understand the personnel. So I missed something, because the ranked team got their ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
Bad. Yeah.
Like that could really surprise me, because I thought Navy was going to come out and handle business, and they just sucked ass this week.
This one goes out to Navy right here for all y'all over there in Annapolis.
Man, I had my shit washed in, bro, big time.
Yeah, y'all certainly did.
All right. Some of the other games are Raging Cajuns. Louisiana Lafayette destroyed Louisiana Monroe 30-3.
Gotta love them Raging Cajuns.
I'm telling you, the Raging Cajuns.
Ooh, boy, look at that Gator. I mean, you gotta love them Cajuns.
I love that. I just love that.
I'm telling you, they're really good people, man. I don't know. It's just something about that part of the country. If y'all ain't never been, go.
And the last game I want to talk about was Kansas State crushing TCU 30-6.
Bill Snyder had a game plan.
Oh, he did, definitely.
And goddamn did it not work to perfection almost.
It did.
They rolled in there and they beat the better team. Because personally, I think if you line them up and played them 10 times, I don't think K-State wins 3 more of those games. TCU is the better team. But, hey, that's exactly why there's called a coach and a scheme and a game plan. Because, fuck, it worked. They bottled them up the whole game.
The whole game.
Their offense had no fucking answer for anything.
At all.
It was bad.
All right.
You fucking horned frogs made us look bad. Fuck y'all.
Speaking of looking bad, I want to talk about last week. We finished the week 5-11. We had a horrible week. We couldn't string anything together, and it was horrible.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know what the hell happened last week, but
Oh no! We suck again!
yeah, we do. Like, we really, really suck again.
We just couldn't string any wins together.
No, we couldn't. No.
And it was a lot of those shit games that we had last week that we had to pick from that we don't know a lot about these teams.
Well, what was bad about it is like half those games we were looking really pretty in, and then the fucking wheels just fall off the bus.
Oh, on a lot of those games.
And they fell off hard.
Oh, real bad. But overall, I wanted to talk about how we did for the season. We finished overall 134 and 154, which is win percent of 47. We averaged 9 wins per week. Week 3 and 6 were our high weeks with 14 wins. And week 6 and 15 were our low weeks. We had 6 wins in week 6 and 5 this past week in week 15.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Hey.
Again, guys, we're not Vegas.
We're not Vegas guys.
We're just 2 guys from South Carolina.
Making our picks.
Doing what we love.
And that's it. There's no bullshit. There's no bunkum. There's no gimmicks. There's no none of it.
There isn't. None.
We don't have credit cards at the Bellagio.
I'm not having Pharrell's number on speed dial.
We don't have big fat cigars in our mouth just betting hundreds of fucking dollars as if the shit was pennies. Like, we're not that. We're just not that. There's no other way to say it.
So, moving on to some of the other big things that happened this week. On Sunday, they announced the NCAA Championship Playoff Final Four. And in the first matchup, we have number 1 Alabama, who who's undefeated in the SEC champions, taking on number 4 Washington, 11-1 in the Pac-12 championship. Now, in this game, it's going to be very interesting because Alabama is just a powerhouse, but Washington has a high-powered offense and a really good defense that could give Alabama some struggles in this game.
And no one is giving Washington a chance.
Oh no, it's definitely a David versus Goliath kind of matchup.
And that's the thing about this whole ordeal is if you look at the lines, like most of the lines for a lot of these games, the really good ones are close. That one's at 2 touchdowns, and it might even go up. I honestly think that Washington has a legitimate chance to beat Alabama. But if you're going to do that, you already know you have to bring your A game and you have to play it. Because half-ass lollipop bullshit ain't going to beat Nick Saban and those badass motherfucking 5-star blue chip elite football players. Because make no mistake, you are going up against the best fucking squad that there is in football and continuously is the best in football. Because Nick Saban has a formula, and I'll be damned if it doesn't work, because the man he has eclipsed Bear Bryant at Alabama. Do you understand the fucking gravity of that statement? That no one in their right fucking mind ever thought that there would ever be another Bear Bryant type at Alabama, ever. And not only did they get one, he outdid him.
Wow, that statement right there is just amazing in itself. And Bear Bryant is the greatest.
Right. I mean, he is. If you ask all the coaches right now, like who was the man of football, like you will hear Bo Schlembecker, you'll hear, all Joe Paterno, you will hear these names, but the one that keeps coming to the top of the pile
Bear Bryant
is Bear Bryant over Tom Osborne, over Barry Switzer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Over all the Jimmy Johnson. It doesn't matter. Like all these coaches were great, but they all look at Bear Bryant like he's fucking God. Hell, he might as well be.
He is.
Right.
He is God of college football.
Yes.
Kind of the way Coach Krzyzewski is God of college basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, is that fair enough to say?
He took it from Bobby Knight, yeah.
I think he's the king of college basketball.
Until somebody dethrones him.
I don't think that might happen for a long time. Definitely not in our lifetime.
No, definitely not.
Won't happen. But I think one of the keys for Washington, and I'm going to say it now to you guys, do not throw the screen pass, guys. Ask Florida. Ask Tennessee. Ask Arkansas. Ask LSU. It does not work.
Just forget the screen passes.
Get rid of that off your playbook. Take that out of your playbook right off the bat. That's out the door. Don't even think about it. Don't even attempt it. Don't even think, oh, well, they're not expecting it. Guess what? They're expecting it.
And if you're going to use it, you better do that shit at like the end of a game in a formation that they've never seen. That is confusing as shit. Because if you just line up in your regular formation and run that play, they're running it for 6.
So let's talk a little bit about this game. What are the keys, some of the keys for Alabama in this game?
All Alabama needs to do is watch films. Don't do anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All they got to do is just watch film, prepare, and show up. The only team that's played them close is LSU. And that's their rival. And they played a hell of a game, and they still couldn't beat them. Now, granted, Bama only scored 10 points. They still shut out LSU and played a hard game. I mean, these boys come ready to play. So you better be watching the film.
All right. So how about the key for Washington? What are some of the keys for Washington at doing the impossible and upsetting Alabama?
3 things. You have to control the time of possession. You cannot turn the football over. And if you get them down, you need to play like hell. Because if they get you down, it's over with. Once Bama gets a comfortable lead, that's pretty much the end of it. No one ever gets to claw back and point by point them. You've not seen it all season. So don't get behind the chains with them. If they start pouring it on, you pack it in.
All right. So in the second matchup, we have number 2 Clemson, 12-1 ACC champions, versus number 3 Ohio State, who finished the season 11-1. What in this game? What are some keys for Clemson winning this game against Ohio State?
Clemson needs to come out and run the football. It's that simple. It really is. It's just run the football, and just when you're sick and tired of doing it, run the football. And everyone's going to say, oh, God damn, you can't run against Ohio State's defense. Yes, you can. You just have to do your job right. You don't have to bust off massive gains on them. It helps, but if you can take 4 and 5 at a time and keep moving the chains, the secret to beating them is controlling the clock, wearing out their defense, not letting their offense on the field, much like the same for Ohio State. They need to do the same thing to Clemson. Keep their offense off the field, keep the defense on the field, tire them out, and you want it to go that way, because if either of those teams have fresh offenses, this could be a high-scoring game. Either way.
So you're thinking like a 49-42 game, or maybe even a 60-55 game or something like that?
Not that high, but it's going to be a very close game. I'm looking at like 35-31, 38-35, real close. I also think that whoever makes the least amount of turnovers and has the ball at the end of the game is likely going to win, because this is one of those games where I could easily see Clemson coming out, jumping all over Ohio State real quick, and then Ohio State coming right back, evening it up, and then us having a slug out all the way to the bitter end, and whoever has that football and the chance to win the end is going to do it. It's too big of a game. It's two powerhouses that are going to be coming ready to play. It's going to be interesting. I don't see it being a blowout in either direction. I just don't. And
this is the kind of games that as fans it scares you, because you go into this game, you're thinking, man, we made the playoffs. This is great. We've done a lot this season. Finished the season great, 11-1, won the ACC championship to go back to back. You go into this game and you're thinking, man, we're playing a powerhouse like Ohio State. It's had a really good season this year. We don't want it to end here, but you have those nerves of, man, we're playing one of our toughest games of the year. Do you feel like nerves are going to have anything to do with, Clemson at all, or do you think they've shook those nerves throughout the season, playing some of the bigger games that they've had against like Florida State, Louisville, stuff like that?
No, I don't think there's going to be too much of nerves. There might be when the game first starts, but they'll settle in because Clemson's been in a lot of big games. So has Ohio State. And that's why they're here. They've been in the big games, they've been in the trenches, and they know how to win. So this goes out to all of our fucking ESPN assholes who think they know what they're talking about, but time and time again, just proven to be a bunch of fucking dumbass idiots that think they know better than everybody else. So, to all you Clemson haters, this is what I got for you.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I think about you dicks over there at the Snowflake Network. And, don't even get me fucking started. You assholes had us counted out before we even fucking matched up with Louisville. Where are they at now and where are we? Yeah, that's right. Suck a dick.
Yeah, ESPN, I've noticed, I never noticed it until you said something to me, badass, about how much ESPN hates on Clemson. And I've actually seen it throughout this whole season, and I'm just like, wow, how can one station have so much hate towards one school? And it surprised me. You open up my eyes to see the truth behind what ESPN really is. And, I haven't watched ESPN since you told me that a couple months ago. because I've just decided I just don't want to watch them anymore. That and the fact that they've had President Obama on 96 times in probably the last 8 years.
Do you know what ESPN stands for? The Elitist Socialist Progressive Network, because that's all they are.
And what's sad is I used to love ESPN.
We all did.
I grew up on ESPN. Stuart Scott, all them boys. I mean, I used to wake up in the morning and watch ESPN Sports
Hey,
Center,
Berman.
and go home at nighttime and go to sleep to Sports Center. Now I just can't even watch it anymore.
This is back when Keith Olbermann wasn't a douche.
I just can't watch it because that and Stephen A. Smith running his mouth every 20 seconds.
Don't even get me started on him, man. Like he is what ruins everything, because not everything has to be a fucking high charged, racially charged profile, fucking everything politics, everything black, white. Man, people don't want to hear that shit. That's why we watch sports, because we don't want to hear that shit. But you assholes just fucking interject it right on in there.
Ram it down our throats.
And then you wonder why Fox Sports 1 starts. It's because motherfuckers can't take that shit. We don't care. If you want to fucking support whoever you want to politically, fine, do it. But keep it the fuck out of our sports. Sports is where we go to get the fuck away from that shit.
So let's go ahead before we get moving on. Let's talk a little bit real quick on predictions on the Final Four games. Alabama, Washington. Does Washington have a chance of beating Alabama? I think they could, but they could keep it close in the first half, maybe into the third quarter. But I think if Alabama's eventually going to put it on them and show why they're the elite team. And I think if they end up being a kind of a 3, maybe even a 4-score game.
Yeah, I don't see much evidence to state otherwise. Washington is good, but they are going to be matched up against a powerhouse in Alabama.
I think they're going to make mistakes. I think they're going to, against their defense, and their defense is going to eat them up. Their defense might score 2 or 3 times in this game.
They very well could, too.
Especially if they get down. If they get down quick, like if they go down like 14-17 to 7 or 3, I could see them starting to try to force stuff into the defense, and their defense just eating them alive.
Yeah, I really wish that I could say I had faith in Washington. I mean, they got a puncher's chance, and I really want them to beat Alabama, but they're not going to.
I mean, it's one of those teams. It's like you'd love to see Auburn upset, Alabama. You would have loved to see Florida come in and shock the world and beat Alabama. But guess what? In the end, it wasn't going to happen.
They all fell to the mighty Bama.
Bama is who we thought they were.
Yeah, they are.
All right, and the next game, this is going to be interesting because I know your heart, is always with Clemson. But we have Clemson versus Ohio State. Who wins this game?
Clemson. And it's not just because I'm a homer. It's because, historically, Ohio State has never beat Clemson. We just seem to have their number. I do believe that it's going to be a hard-fought game. Both defenses are good, really good. I think that both quarterbacks are going to be pressured, sacked, hit. I think we're going to have a lot of heavy hits.
It's going to be a drag-em-out fight game. Trenches, you name it, all the cliches you can name. It's going to be one of those matchups. It's going to be a drag-em-out fight.
But I think Clemson's offense is going to prevail at the end of the day.
I definitely agree. I think Clemson's definitely going to win this game. I think, in the end, Clemson's just a better team. Clemson really is just a better team, and they've shown it all year, for the most part. Excluding the couple games that they struggled in, that they probably shouldn't have struggled in the beginning of the season. But they bounced back, and they've looked pretty strong in this latter part of the season. And you know what? In the end, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right. That's it. Hey, no one remembers what the hell you did in September. All the stories are November and December. That's what people remember.
Exactly, into January.
Yeah, that's what counts.
When you're playing that last game in January, you've done what you came to do this year. You came to play for a championship.
And you're laying exactly. It's either time to go to work or time to get your ass whooped.
So then we're looking at a possible Alabama-Clemson rematch, which is going to be very interesting. I'm telling you, 2 powered defenses, 2 high-powered offenses, another drag-em-out fight. Is Clemson going to be too tired from the drag-em-out fight with Ohio State to keep up with Alabama, or do you think they have their number this year?
I don't think so. We could see a rematch. I would love to see a rematch. But then again, we could get Alabama, Ohio State. We could get Washington, Clemson. You could get Alabama, Clemson. You could get Clemson. I mean, it's just there's all kinds of different scenarios.
Oh yeah.
But in the end, I really do think that most of the country thinks you're about to see Alabama, Ohio State. I think you're about to see Alabama, Clemson again. And a lot of people were saying, oh, I don't want to see that again because it's just going to be a repeat of last year. Incorrect. That's where you're wrong.
See, I thought last year's game was great.
Yes, it was.
It was a great game. I don't know why people would not want to see this. It'd be like a UFC fight, for instance. You have these fights where, you have, for instance, name a fighter.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor versus Diaz, 2. Everybody wants to see that fight.
Hell yeah, they wanted it. And it was a great fight.
It was a great fight. The first one was a great fight, and I'd love to see a second round. Same with Alabama-Clemson. I'd love to see Alabama-Clemson Part 2.
Exactly. It's Deshaun Watson's last year. I mean, I'd love to see them go out swinging again. Hell yes.
I love it, and I think it's going to be another drag-'em-out fight just like it was last year.
I agree.
So, also, badass, on Sunday, they also announced my favorite part of the football season in college football, the bowl games.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I love this time of season. This is like my favorite time of the season.
Yeah, they did actually put the official list out there. Yes, they did.
You have Thanksgiving. They announced the bowls. You have Christmas and New Year's. It's just all in one little wrapped up ball.
I ain't gonna lie, it's really awesome for me because you can top all that on there. Then you get a national championship and my birthday, and they used to actually play it on my birthday. It kind of sucks they don't anymore, but hey, I'll take it. Clemson, if you're out there, I would really love a national title for my birthday. Just saying.
I'm telling you, before we get into it, this place will be absolutely nuts if Clemson wins the championship. I've never been in a big town, college, where they've won a national championship.
Oh, there would be some hijinks and some shenanigans.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
I love Super Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
That is an awesome movie.
But no, you best believe it. They win that game. Clemson might get set on fire and just joy. They would just be like, fuck it. We'll just rebuild it. Who cares? Burn that motherfucker down.
And it's going to do big things for this town if they win a national championship.
Shit, going to one last year already did it.
That was just kind of the precursor to this year.
Imagine if you actually win that. Oh, my God.
It's going to be exciting because I'm excited to see what it's going to be like to be in the town of a major college that wins the national championship in college football. I mean, it's almost as close as getting to a Super Bowl or a World Series or something like that, or NHL finally Stanley Cup Finals, something like that. To me, it's kind of like that to me.
Oh, you would see happiness unlike you've ever seen it here before. You better believe that.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some of the bowl games. We're not going to do our picks this week. We're going to wait till next week to do our picks because we want to keep doing this thing for you guys. So
we're going to keep it updated. Like, say if we have a show that runs week to week like we do, all the bowl games that we will predict up until then, we will predict. And then the next week, you got another slate of games for the week, we'll predict those too.
And we'll talk about the week before.
Right, we're going to keep this thing going because this has gotten to be something really, really good. It really has.
So let's go ahead and jump into it and look at some of the games that we have. Starting off all the bowl games, on December 17th, the New Orleans Bowl, we have our boys, the Raging Cajuns from the University of Louisiana Lafayette, taking on Southern Miss.
Yeah, I like the Raging Cajuns here, man. I mean, I know Southern Miss is a good football team. They're going to be well matched. But I just, we love our Raging Cajuns. We love our coon asses.
I'm telling you, I love them. I mean, I know that last week was the first week we got to pick them, but I picked them last week because I like the name, the Raging Cajuns.
Hey, they're the Louisianimals for a reason, my friend.
All right, so the next game is actually on the same day. It's on December 17th. It's the Las Vegas Bowl. We have San Diego State taking on Houston. which in the beginning of the season, Houston was one of those teams that was in the top 10 and looking good at making a possible run at the playoffs. Now they fell awful. Now they're playing in one of the first bowls in the Las Vegas Bowl.
What's crazy is this is the same team that just beat Louisville, like whipped their ass. I mean, this team's up and down. Like
It is. I mean, it's hard to pick them.
it is. They're a roller coaster team. They're either on a high or they're on a low, and it's really hard to determine which one they're going to show up to. But I will say this: recent history of Houston shows that when they do go to a bowl game and they get prepared, they do really well.
And they're going to have a little bit of time to prepare for this game.
Yes.
They're going to have about a week and a half, 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
And I thoroughly believe they're going to win this game.
I do too. I think San Diego State is just not as good as Houston.
No, they're
Houston's a better team.
They're not in the same league with Houston.
Definitely. Another game I want to talk about, December 21st, the Poinsettia Bowl. We have our boys, the Mormons, the BYU Mormons, against Wyoming, the dreaded Wyoming team that has constantly screwed us this year.
Yeah, I'm not going against my Golden Mormons. I've learned.
No, I definitely agree. BYU would definitely be my pick, and I'm kind of curious to see what the point spread is going to be for this game.
Oh, I guarantee you BYU's the favorite.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Another bowl game we have on December 27th, the Holiday Bowl. We have your boys, the Minnesota Gophers, the Golden Gophers versus Washington State, who just played for Washington a couple weeks ago.
I like the Golden Gophers. They always show up, man.
They do.
They got heart.
They got heart. They got a lot of heart. And where are they?
They're in Minnesota.
No. What kind of bunch are they?
Oh, the Scrappy Bunch.
Yeah, there you go.
The Scrappy
Bunch. All right. On December 27th, also there's Cactus Bowl, where Baylor will be taking on Boise State. Two teams that have been having an up and down season this year. What do you think about this game, Badass?
I'm liking Boise State in this game. I don't know why, but something just tells me that Boise State's going to show up to play Baylor, and they are going to make a statement because they love to beat teams that everyone says, "Oh, they're bigger and badder than you. You can't run with them." I mean, let's face it. Boise State is a household name because they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
They're a known name because they show up to games they don't belong in and win. That's what they do.
Yeah, they do. So, next game we have is December 28th, the Texas Bowl. We have Kansas State playing Texas A&M. Another two teams that kind of had up and down seasons this year. Texas A&M has looked really pretty good on a few games. Some of the other games they've struggled in. K-State, again, they play well at home, but they don't play well on the road. What do you think about this game?
K-State's a very well coached team. I like Bill Snyder. He knows what he's doing because he takes talent that can't make it to better schools and he turns them into a good football team. But I also think A&M's a better team here. I think they played the better schedule. I think they've won the better games. And I don't honestly see A&M has no business losing this game to K-State.
Definitely.
They really don't.
And what's really great about this game is it's being played in Houston.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a home game for
I think
them.
it's going to be like a home game for Texas A&M, which we all know Texas A&M plays well at home.
Yes, they do.
So they're definitely not going to have to travel far.
No.
All right, next game we have is December 28th. It's being played in Orlando. The Russell Athletic Bowl. We have my Miami Hurricanes, the U, playing on my boys. This is going to be a tough game for me. They're playing my Country Roads, West Virginia.
Oh, man. I cannot believe that it came down to this, because this has been an interesting season and you've fallen in love with the Mountaineers the way you have. It's only fitting that they play Miami.
It is. I mean, it's tough because earlier in the season I had to pick between Notre Dame and Miami, which I actually refused to pick because at that point of the season I was done with them.
Right.
So, I mean, I love Miami, but I'm really having to go with my heart on this one and go with my new boys, West Virginia.
I think West Virginia is the better team. They've been playing better. I think that when it comes time for bowls, I really do believe that they will show up offensively and defensively, whereas Miami, I don't believe will show up offensively. Their defense will travel, but I'm not sold on that Kaya kid. I'm just not.
I mean, Miami isn't traveling far because they're only going to Orlando. I mean, West Virginia's traveling a little bit further, but in the end, I think West Virginia's just a better team. And you can't take anything away from Miami this year because they had first-year coach, did a really good job. I think he has a chance to come back next year and improving more and winning some more games next year. And I think they have a chance of winning that division next year.
Hold on, you think Miami has a chance of winning that division next year?
It's a shitty division.
What?
You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and check down your neck.
Yeah, seriously. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, no.
I'm dead serious.
Oh, no.
I think next year it's going to be Miami versus whoever wins the Atlantic Division.
Well, we already know who's going to win the Atlantic.
Florida State.
Oh, my God. I can't do nothing with you.
Louisville?
Oh, Jesus fucking God. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to take you to church or something. Like, I'm going to have to take you to see them old black ladies. They can pray with you or something, man. And they can feed you some collard greens and mac and cheese afterwards.
You know, actually, I like collard greens. Collard greens are pretty good.
Fuck yeah, they are. Especially, hey, listen, for all y'all out there listening that ain't here in the South, you ain't had collard greens until an older, like 50, 60-year-old black lady has made them for you because they make the best collard greens. I don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody beats them at making collard greens. Them motherfuckers are so good and spicy. Goddamn. That's all I got to say.
All right, so now we're getting into more of our marquee games that I really want to talk about a little bit. Because this game is, because we're close to this team, I want to talk about this game real quick. It's the Birmingham Bowl on December 29th, USF versus South Carolina. Them Gamecocks.
The who? You talking about that shitty ass, poor bunch from Columbia who just can't seem to get over waving their 5 fingers at everybody like they just learned to count? Y'all are going to a shit bowl because you're a shit team. Do you understand that? Y'all just suck. You really do.
All right, the next game I want to talk about is the Belt Bowl playing on December 29th. Virginia Tech at Arkansas. Playing Arkansas. I think this is going to be an interesting game because Virginia Tech has played really good this season. Went to ACC championship. Took Clemson to the limits. Arkansas is playing in the tough division. I mean,
I think Virginia Tech's a better team, though.
Virginia Tech is a better team, I think.
I really think they are. They proved they can run one of the best in the nation. I mean, Arkansas got their chance to do that earlier, and they got their fucking asses waxed.
Yep.
So I think Virginia Tech is going to show up that game.
And they showed up against Clemson, so I think they definitely can show up against Arkansas.
Justin Fuente is a good damn coach. And let's not forget, Bud Foster on defense, he knows what he's doing.
And for Arkansas, it's the curse of the SEC.
Yeah.
You're playing in a division where you have 8, 9, 10 good teams in that division that
are all better than you.
They're all better than you. You're going to struggle in that division like that. And I think they're going to play in a Virginia Tech team that just came out, won their Coastal Division, now going in and playing, went and played Clemson pretty tight. I think they're going to end up coming in and just dominating this game.
Arkansas, this is what it is for you. Game over.
Next game I want to talk about is December 29th, the Alamo Bowl. We have Oklahoma State playing Colorado. It's being played in San Antonio. I know we picked Oklahoma State a lot this year. We've had Colorado a couple times. Neither team, like I said, Oklahoma State's they've been up and down for us, about 50-50 for us this year. Colorado really hasn't done us well this year. We've lost a lot of games that we've played against them because either we picked a team that they should have got blown out by and they've kept it close, or they played a team that they should blow them out and they played it close.
I know. Colorado is one of those teams where I don't study them a whole lot and I don't know terribly too much about them. And I'm going to have to do a lot more research. Like over these next couple weeks, I'm going to have to really keen in on just what they are and what they do. Because, like I said, I'm not a Vegas guy. I don't have 18 hours a day to commit to always looking at film. But if I had to take a gut call on this game, it wouldn't be taking Colorado.
No, definitely not.
No.
I think Oklahoma State in the end is the better team.
And their offense has the capability to score a shitload of points. It's just a matter of, are they going to figure out your defense and do it? Because if they do, they're going to be throwing the fucking ball everywhere.
I mean, we picked them last week as scoring the most points against Oklahoma.
I know, and I mean they didn't, but they very well could have. Because that's the kind of offense. They don't play defense worth the fuck, but they play great offense.
Oh yeah, definitely. So now we're getting into some of the more marquee matchups. We have the Sun Bowl on December 30th, North Carolina at Stanford. Now, North Carolina has kind of had an up and down season. They've shown out in some games that were big, and then some of the games that they should have easily won, they've lost or barely won. And then we have Stanford. He's playing out there in the West and playing against a lot of good teams, USC, Cal, Washington State, playing all those guys. So, you know, you have an East Coast versus West Coast team, old Tupac versus Biggie style matchup. North Carolina, you know, their offense defense is pretty good, but I think in the end, Stanford's offense and defense is just better.
I think Stanford outmatches them in a lot of areas. I think they're bigger. I think they're stronger. They have a better coach. Larry Fedora is a hothead. When shit's not going right for him, he's going to make dumber decisions. Whereas David Shaw will not. I think he's the calmer and cooler head, and I do believe they will prevail. And not only that, they have that kid, that Christian McCaffrey kid at Stanford.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. That alone right there makes them a favorite.
if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Heisman hopeful.
Exactly. Right there, Stanford becomes the automatic favorite because of that.
Our next game is the Liberty Bowl, played on December 30th in Memphis. We have TCU versus your wife's team, Georgia. This is an interesting matchup.
It is, and I already asked my wife what she thought about it, and she said that if TCU could only manage 6 points against shitty-ass Kansas State, then the Dogs should have no problem rolling them up. And I do believe she's right. I think the Dogs have this one.
I mean, she hasn't been wrong much this year at all.
No, she's not. She's not been wrong at all about Georgia this year. Not once.
Not once?
Not once.
Wow.
Last week she was the one that said Georgia Tech was going to win that game. It killed her to say it, but she was right.
All right, so our next game that we have is the Music City Bowl, playing on December 30th in Nashville. We have Nebraska versus Tennessee. So you have a Tennessee team that's not really traveling far, playing almost at home. And they've had kind of up and down season where Nebraska's had a really good season. They were up there in the running for a while, looking like they might make the playoffs, but playing in a Big Ten, which has definitely improved this year, Nebraska's done a good job. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, I think. Two teams that can definitely score some points, and defense can definitely, you know, put the nails down and put their foot down if they need to. But I think in the end, I'm thinking Nebraska is just a better team here.
I think the Huskers are the better squad. That, not to say that they could easily win this game, but they should win. It's not gonna be a blowout, but they are the better team. Everyone probably thinks that's fucking insane to say that, but they have been playing better football. I mean, down the stretch, they have been increasingly getting better. Like, it's one thing to just do well and to keep it at a comfortable pace, but to actually show improvement week to week, that's pretty fucking hard. That means you really are playing well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nebraska's done that all season.
They have. They really have.
Definitely playing in that tough division, Big Ten. I mean, it's
Tennessee, I have no faith in them. You know, everyone said that they were going to be going to the playoffs this year. I mean, I believe even Walt Deptula's stupid ass even said that they were originally going to be in the top four. you see how quickly he reeled that shit back in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But Nebraska, I mean, they just like I said, they played in a very big, tough Big Ten division this year. And what surprised me the most was normally it's been dominant for the ACC, SEC. Now all of a sudden, Big Ten comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey, fellas, guess what? We came to the party. We want to join this party because you know what? We're tired of looking back at you guys' asses. We want to come up and join the party and throw some teams up there and make this interesting."
We're more than Ohio State and Michigan is what they're trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all those teams this year that are in the top 10.
Oh no, let me tell you something. Big Ten might actually be the best conference in football this year.
I know that's hard to say because usually it's ACC or SEC, but
True, by the numbers.
by the
though.
numbers, Big Ten is just a better division this year.
By the numbers.
All right, the next game is the Tech Slayer Bowl, played on December 31st. Georgia Tech playing Kentucky.
I know a lot of people think Kentucky can do this because they beat Louisville, but y'all need to get that shit out of your head right now. Georgia Tech is going to win this game, and this is my one reasoning behind this of all of them. Kentucky does not know how to defend the triple option well, like say Clemson does, because we see it every year. Kentucky is going to get to watch it on film, and they are going to get ready for it. But Paul Johnson also knows they're going to be watching the film. And he also knows that they've never played a team doing that shit before, and it's going to take them a while to get used to it. Believe me, if you've ever watched a football team try to defend the option and they've never even seen it before, really in game time, like live game situation, they don't know what the fuck to do for a while. It takes a while to hone in on it. Believe me, I used to watch Clemson suffer under that shit. Just didn't have no fucking idea how to shut that shit down. And now when Georgia Tech brings that little fucking sorry-ass triple option up to Clemson, we just pound them. They can't move the ball against us. That's because we see it all the time. Kentucky doesn't see it all the time. Ergo, I think Georgia Tech has the advantage here.
And in the end, I've said this many times throughout this thing, Georgia Tech is just a better team. We said it all year. Kentucky is a basketball team.
Yep.
I know they had that big upset.
Yeah.
But, shit. The sun shines on dog's ass every now and then.
Every once in a great while.
So, they just got that one lucky win of the year. But I think Georgia Tech's just a better team, and they're going to come out and dominate this game.
I think so, too.
All right, our next game, this is going to be an interesting game. It's the Citrus Bowl being played on December 31st. It's Louisville playing LSU. ACC versus SEC.
I should be pulling for the ACC school, but I'm not. I'm pulling for LSU to win this game. And I hate to tell Louisville, but LSU is going to be bringing some grown-ass men to play. You better bring your grown-ass men because Lamar Jackson ain't going to be running all over fucking LSU's defense, because if he thinks that he's going to be having a field day against those motherfuckers, think again. Think again.
I definitely agree. LSU's played tough this year.
And you know what? Actually, you know what? No. I hope Lamar Jackson wins that Heisman. I hope he does. And I hope he goes out there and gets his fucking shit pushed in by LSU just for good measure so they can show you that he ain't shit. Because sadly, he's probably going to win that Heisman when Deshaun should be getting the motherfucker. But hey, what do I know? Y'all just keep going and sucking that motherfucker's dick while you're at it.
So, you think LSU is going to win this game?
Yeah, I do.
All right, next game, we have the Outback Bowl being played on January 2nd. Iowa versus Florida.
You know what? Conventional wisdom says Florida should win this game. Iowa's going to kick their ass.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Iowa is going to kick Florida's ass.
See, that surprised me a little bit because in hindsight, you would look at this game and first thing you would say is, oh, Florida's going to win this game handily.
No, Iowa's going to kick their ass. You watch.
And they've been a scrappy bunch. Iowa's been a scrappy bunch this year.
If they can beat Michigan, they can beat Florida.
If they run the same scheme as what they did against Michigan, they can definitely beat Florida.
Not to mention, Florida can't score a fucking touchdown, save their life half the time. They went down there and scored one against Bama, and they jizzed. They thought they had done something. I guess somebody forgot to tell them you need to do that about 7 more fucking times to beat them.
And yeah, apparently they didn't get that memo.
No, apparently they didn't. apparently that one fell on deaf ears.
All right, so now we go on to our top tier games. We have the Orange Bowl being played on December 30th in Miami. We have Florida State playing Michigan. I don't know, like, I'm still trying to find it hard to believe that Florida State's being put up so high after what they've done this year.
If Michigan shuts down Dalvin Cook, it's going to be a long fucking night for Florida State. Your big threat weapon is Dalvin Cook, and Michigan knows that. And they just happen to be really fucking good at stopping the run for the most part. And when they know that your star player who's going to check in 16 to 18 times a game is in, they see that number 4 out there, they're going to key in on him. So I know he's elusive and he's really good. You better hope that he has all the right angles and all the right luck, because if Michigan keys up on him and their game plan is to pretty much say, we're taking him away, you're going to beat us with everyone else, that's going to be a long fucking night for you, Florida State. Because if Michigan if they start moving that football and scoring, it's going to be a really long night.
What's scary about Michigan is that they have that kind of offense that they can put up 45, 50 points, 60 points on you.
And they can do it.
And their defense has the power to pretty much shut your shit down and say, you ain't scoring shit.
And they've done it multiple times this year against pretty good opponents, too.
I can see Florida State having that trouble where they shut Cook down, and that's it for them.
I mean, Cook's going to get his. He's going to get big runs, but like I said, he's only going to check into the game so many times, and if you bottle him up and you keep Dalvin Cook under 100 yards, they win this game easy.
Our next one is the Sugar Bowl being played on January 2nd in New Orleans, Oklahoma versus Auburn.
Auburn has no fucking business being in this game.
Another team that I think, how the hell did they get up so high?
Auburn has no business being in this game. They are going to get their asses wore out by Oklahoma. Oklahoma is most certainly the better team. If I were Oklahoma, I'd be fucking insulted that that's who you gave me.
And I mean, looking at this bowl game, I see 3 teams right off the bat that I'm looking at, that 4 teams that I'm now looking at, that you could definitely put in place of Florida State and Auburn. Louisville, LSU, Nebraska, and Stanford.
Right, like I'd much
4 teams right there that I could put up in those spots, and they'd still be great games.
I'd rather see Oklahoma and Stanford. That'd be a great game.
Michigan,
They match up well.
Michigan, Louisville would be a great game.
Right, like, but they give us this shit fest. I mean, so no offense to you Auburn people down there. I'm not trying to be shitty to you people, because I've been around your squad. I've been around your fucking city. Y'all are pretty nice people. I ain't got nothing really ignorant to say about you. But y'all don't have any fucking right to be in this game. Oklahoma is going to kick y'all's ass, and I think y'all even know it. Because the only thing y'all can do is run the ball, and Oklahoma's going to shut that down. You must believe that. They know what to do with you. And I see this being a 14-point plus game. Oklahoma's going to be a touchdown favorite, easy.
And they're going to win by probably 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I agree. I mean, I like Auburn, but y'all have no business being in that game. Sorry.
Now, the next bowl game that I want to talk about, this, in my opinion, would have to be probably the best bowl game of all the bowl games. It's the Rose Bowl being played on January 2nd in Pasadena. Penn State, who has just come out and looked dominant this year, playing USC, a team that's kind of struggled at the beginning, but middle of the season to the end, they've been a very strong team.
Freight train.
Like a freight train come along. And they've string a lot of wins together, just like Penn State. This is going to be a very interesting game because you have 2 great offenses and 2 good defenses. And it's going to be one of those drag 'em out fights, just like Clemson, Ohio State. If you're going to drag 'em out fight, and I'm excited about this game. This is probably one of the games out of all the games that I'm very excited to see.
Just let it roll off your tongue. Penn State versus USC in the Rose Bowl. That even sounds old school fucking awesome. Like that's
It does.
It just shit just sounds sexy sometimes. Like when you hear something, you're like, man, that's just fucking Like sometimes shit just sounds good coming off and that's one of them. That's going to be a great game to watch. Those teams are both playing excellent fucking football. And I'm actually inclined to agree with Berger here on this one. That might actually be your best bowl game out of all of them. It really might. And I'm coming from a Clemson man. I mean, that's hard to say, but that is going to be a hell of a game. They definitely got the Rose Bowl right. I'll give them that.
They definitely did. I agree with
They
that.
got that one right.
That one is going to be an awesome matchup. I mean, just
Even though it should be Ohio State versus USC and it should be Penn State versus Clemson, by the by, in my book, if you're going to have it the other way, that's a hell of a matchup.
oh, it is.
It really, it's the best slated one in the top tier bowl games.
I definitely agree. We have one more to talk about. It's being played on January 2nd. It's the Cotton Bowl. We have undefeated Western Michigan playing Wisconsin. This is a game I was telling you. It was a David versus Goliath matchup. You have undefeated Western Michigan playing a powerhouse of Wisconsin, who's looked great this year.
I really like the Western Michigan story. It's a great one. It's gonna go down in the history books as being a great season for an underdog team who just no one believed in, who came along. But I hate to tell y'all, your story's ending at Wisconsin because Penn State could come back and beat them, but y'all ain't gonna do it. In fact, I'll be shocked if y'all even score against them.
You really think so?
I'll be shocked if they even score.
Wow. I mean, Western Michigan has scored some points this year, but then again, like I've said before,
They've not.
they're in the
MAC.
MAC. They're in the MAC division. I mean, they're in a really crappy division. They're playing a top tier Big Ten team.
And not only that, you're playing one of the best fucking defenses in the country, like lights out squad defense.
I mean, Wisconsin was up there in the running for the last several weeks at a possible making the bowl games
I mean,
championship.
this is one of those games where you could even say, I bet you they won't cross the 50-yard line in the first half. I mean, it's, like them old school Steeler teams where you could actually bet that, but I bet you they won't even get across the 50-yard line. That might be one of these situations.
Wow,
Wisconsin's going to put it on them, dude.
bad.
Yeah, and I like Western Michigan's story, but
This is
they've
where
not seen a defense like this.
This is where they wake up from the dream and they realize that guess what? We're playing a powerhouse team. We're gonna get our ass kicked.
I mean, they're gonna come in riding high on that emotion, and then first series of snaps, they're gonna be snapped back into reality, and they're going, "Holy shit, this is goddamn for real." Yeah.
All right, so like I was saying earlier in the beginning of the show, we only have one game to pick from this week. But before we do that, I want to do a little something with you, badass. Something that we haven't done on the show yet. And I kind of want to take you into the future of what it would be like to go into and see what the bowl games would have shaped up like if we had 8-team playoff. And I want to talk about this a little bit because we have some very exciting matchups. I actually went through and I did the matchups according to the way it would work out. And here's the format. We have number 1 Alabama playing versus number 8 Wisconsin. We just talked about Wisconsin. And they could actually be the team that could come in and play Alabama tough.
I actually have to agree with Berger on this. When you look at the top 8 teams this year in college football, all 8 of those teams have a right and would deserve to be playing in a playoff for a national championship. They really would. And to all the people out there that say, no, it would pollute it, it would dumb it down, it's too many games. No, it's not. Give the first 2 teams first round byes. Let it be just like any other regular playoff. If the students start bitching about we want more, whatever, give them, throw the dog a fucking bone. Do whatever you got to do to make this shit happen because 4 seems too elite. And I don't like the 4 because here we are having this Penn State, Ohio State conversation, which is absolute horse shit and could be settled on the field if it was an 8-team playoff. And everyone says, oh, if you go to 8, you might as well go to 16. Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. The top 8 teams are the only ones that actually have a right to be there. Because by the by, the top 8 teams, like if you actually have a 1 versus an 8 in football, an 8 can beat a fucking 1. It can happen. Like in basketball, you don't see a goddamn 1 beating a 16. They've come close, but it's not going to happen. But in football, it can happen.
That'd be like Dell State coming and beating Duke.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You hope it happened,
But it's not gonna.
but it's not going to happen.
But also, you have this growing anger about who's getting left out in the 4-team playoff, because all the teams who have been left out over the last couple of years all have legitimate gripes. And also, you're thinking about, look at the money situation. All these extra schools, if you had 8 teams, all these top-tier programs are spreading around more money. You're generating more money. It's more television contracts. It's more football. And it's the good kind of football.
It's going to make it exciting.
Exactly. And I would love to see those kinds of matchups, because then you actually get the truly best.
I would love to see an Alabama-Wisconsin game.
Right.
And that's a great game. And that's only the first game. I haven't got into the rest of the games yet. Wait till you hear some of the rest of these games. You're going to be like, oh, man, why are we not at 18 playoff? And I've said this, I don't know how many times I've said this year. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a million times. Like badasses. I've said it till I'm blue in the face. 8 teams is where it's at.
Go ahead and tell them about the other games. Just let them roll off the tongue. They
All right,
sound good.
So the next one, we have a rematch. We have number 2 Clemson versus number 7 Oklahoma. Wow. And Oklahoma, I mean, yes, granted, they're not the team they were last year, but they're a high-powered team. And they showed that last week against Oklahoma State. And I'm telling you right now, this would be one hell of a game. I mean, Ohio State's going to give them a fight. Trust me. But Oklahoma's going to give them a fight, too.
Exactly. And then not only that, you got 3 and 6.
3 and 6. Rematch. Number 3 Ohio State versus number 6 Michigan. I mean,
Now,
come on, guys. Where are you guys' heads at in the committee? Seriously.
I want you to think about what he just said. After the fucking drama that you already had this season with a double overtime win by Ohio State in the first game, could you imagine a fucking rematch in the playoffs? Hello?
Boom. Mind blown.
I mean, do we have to spell the shit out for you? Is it second grade? I mean, really? Is this really a fucking... Like, I don't even understand why this is a headache for anyone. It's fucking simple.
It is.
It's not hard. We're not talking algebra here.
No, it's not. It's simple math.
This isn't fish plus orange equals shoe. This is fucking 1 + 1 equals goddamn 2. That's,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't understand.
And then our last matchup, we have number 4 Washington versus number 5 Penn State.
And who wouldn't like to see that?
I'd love to see that.
Because then you'd have one of the most prolific, high-powered offenses that's been just blowing people up this season versus one of the best damn shutdown defenses. You'd actually get to see a true battle between 2 epic squads. And who wouldn't like to see that? And then not to mention the fact you have all the possible combinations of matches coming out of those matches.
I know.
What if Wisconsin were to beat Bama? What if Oklahoma upset Clemson?
What if Michigan beat Ohio State?
Right. Just think about the different matchups you'd get. I mean, to me, this seems like we shouldn't even have started with 4. I don't even know. I guess they did it because they didn't know if it would be a success or ultimate failure, and they were hedging a lot of billions and billions of dollars on this. But to me, it seems rather fucking simple that 8 teams should have been the way from the fucking jump.
I mean, what year are we in this experiment of playoffs? Was it the third season?
Third year. This is the third year.
This is the third year of running 4 teams.
And we've already been bitching about 8 teams since the first year.
So I think it's about time, committee, guys, listen to me. Get your head out of your ass.
Break whatever contracts you have to.
Go to an 8-team squad. I mean, again, I'm going to say this one more time. Number 1 Alabama versus number 8 Wisconsin. Number 2 Clemson in a rematch versus number 7 Oklahoma. Number 3 Ohio State in a rematch versus number 6 Michigan. And number 4 Washington versus number 5 Penn State. That's a no-brainer, guys. I'm excited about this bowl season. Don't get me wrong. I think they did a pretty good job. And we're going to, in a minute here, I want you to do a final grade of the committee for this year. A, B, C, D, and F. On what you feel like they've done this year. But, guys, come on. I mean, we need to go to an 8-team playoff. If this was the playoffs this year, holy shit, I'd be excited for the playoffs.
I'd be
this year.
taking time off from work.
I might actually call out sick from work.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is like March. See, this is why March Madness is so goddamn popular, because it's a tournament style. And with football, you can't have that many teams playing in a tournament. But if you had 8, that would be fucking amazing. And not only that, a lot of other teams would get excited about a season, and you'd have better football play overall, because even if you dropped a game, you could still make it. And that would the pressure of losing would not be as intense. And everyone's like, oh, but it's not as prestigious. Shut the hell up. It's not meant to be prestigious. This isn't fucking bourgeois ball. It's football.
So, in the end, committee, pull your heads out of your ass. Go to an 18 playoff next year. It's going to end up, in the end, making the playoffs and the bowl season hell of a lot better.
Especially because this shit's going to happen regardless, and all of you already know it.
I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen.
It sure as the fucking snow is going to be white when it falls from the goddamn sky.
That's true, badass. So, what I want to do before we go to our pick, I want you and me to give a grade to the committee on all the bowl games they picked and the playoffs. A, B, C, D, or F. And you can give like a B plus or a C plus. So, I'm going to go ahead and do mine real quick. I'm going to give them a B. Because they did just enough in there to get me very excited about about the bowl games and the playoffs. But there were some mistakes made and some teams that were put up higher than they should have been.
Now, if we're grading their overall performance throughout the year,
I'd even maybe go even as low maybe as a C plus.
I was going to say I'm going to give them a C. And a C is an average, and this is why I say what I say. They were wrong about a lot of things throughout the middle of the season. They had a lot of teams way up high where they did not belong. Like they had A&M all the way up there at 4 at one point. That was a disaster. They had Miami at 10 at one point. That was a disaster.
They had Notre Dame up there at the beginning of the season. That was a disaster.
And that's what I mean. Like the subjectivity of this playoff committee is what is just a boondoggle, because you have a group of people who think that they're smarter than everyone else and they know better than everybody else. And you know what? I don't like it if you assholes don't like that assumption, because it is fucking true. You obviously think you know better than everyone else, and personally, I don't think you do. I think the professionals know what they're doing, and I think that y'all are just a bunch of dicks in a room deciding what's going to make the most money for a fucking TV network, if you're being completely fucking frank here. So, I give y'all a C. You did your jobs, but to me, you did it piss poorly, so...
I mean,
you're lucky I didn't give you a fucking F.
I mean, there are some exciting games in the bowl games. I mean, there are. I mean,
That's where they get their C at. They did slate some decent games, but you could have done much better.
I mean, there are some exciting games, but the games like Auburn, Florida State being high as what they are, when teams like Stanford, Nebraska, they're not up there, and I think they deserve to be up there.
And another thing that I'm really getting sick and tired of is watching these shit bowl games. Y'all talk about we can't expand the playoffs. How about this? Expand the playoffs and stop letting these 6-6 shit teams go to a bowl game. Oh, but that school needs the money. You know what? Stop sucking ass and win some more games, and then maybe you get to go to a decent bowl. Who gives a fuck about the fuck me in the ass bowl out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt? No one gives a shit about those stupid bowl games. No one. No one's watching it but your fan base.
But badass, don't you know what kind of age we live in now? We live in an age where even a 6-6 team gets a trophy.
Oh, everybody gets a fucking trophy these days.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Oh, I forgot. All the snowflakes need their fucking recognition.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I don't think these teams that are mediocre should make it to a bowl game.
Personally, I thought going to a bowl game was a reward for having a good season. I didn't know fucking average going 500 was worthy. I'm sorry, but it's just not. And I think that you could fucking save yourselves a whole lot of headache and hassle and all this bullshit. So if you're going to have all these stupid goddamn bowl games, you might as well have a fucking 16-team playoff and just throw the dick on the table.
But I think 16 teams is just too many.
It is too many.
I mean, we talked about
40 bowl games is too many.
Oh, I agree. But if they didn't have the 40 bowl games, we wouldn't have a chance to do all our picks like we do.
I'd much rather them just do something else other than like it shouldn't be a bowl game. Like you shouldn't get the privilege of saying I went to a bowl game when you're 6-6. I'm sorry, you should not be able to do that. They should be able to say, "What's this you're going to? This is the fucking consolation bowl. That's all it's called. That's the glad you're fucking here. Smile away for the camera, play the game, and get the fuck on the bus and go home."
All right, so before we wrap up the show for the night, we have one game to pick from this week. It is the big rival game, number 25 Navy 9-3 versus Army 6-5. Navy is at -7. Now this surprised me a little bit, it only being -7, because I figured Navy would be a high favorite in this one. Now I'm wondering if it's because of how they got blown out last week that people are doubting Navy, but in the end, 9-3 Navy is going to beat a 6-5 Army team, and they're going to beat them by more than 7.
I think this spread should have been higher, but then again, I'm not one of the professionals in Vegas. That's obvious. But Navy should win this game. Navy's like on a 15-year winning streak. If I might be incorrect, it could be more. It may be less, but it's up there. They're on a winning streak against Army. Like they're pounding them. And I know Army's doing a lot better this year. And granted, they did play Duke really tough, but I have no faith in Army to keep this close. I think Navy's going to run away with it.
I definitely agree. So we're going to go ahead and take Navy at -7.
Yep.
And we are locked in. Navy -7. And that's going to be it for us this week, guys. Now, last week I did not get a chance to upload the show from last week or the week before or any of the shows. I'm having a technical issue with YouTube. It's being a little pain in my ass right now.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it, guys. Just be patient. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to happen. I just set up our page. Badass saw it. He loves it. We've set up our Facebook page. I know we've said it the last couple of weeks. Burger and Badass Show at Facebook.com. You can go to that. We'll have the shows on there on YouTube. Or if you guys want to go to YouTube and you guys are hanging out on YouTube, want to listen to something, go to the Burger and Badass Show. We're on there. We'll have all our episodes on there once I get them loaded. Again, I apologize, guys. I'm trying my best, but I'm having some major technical difficulties. It's being a little pain in my ass right now. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm trying to work through it, and I'm trying to get it uploaded for you guys. Because I definitely want to get our show out there. Guys, again, I can't stress this enough. We're not Vegas, guys.
We're just two guys from South Carolina.
Doing our picks every week.
Doing what we love.
Talking college football.
And that's it. There's no gimmicks. No bullshit. No bunk.
None of that.
No, it's just we are two dudes making picks. I hate it if you were expecting more. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like whip my wang out and flip it at you? I don't know.
Whoa, badass. No wang flopping.
No.
That's again some kind of regulation. I don't know what kind of regulation, but
can I give him the bat wing?
No bat wing.
No bat wing.
No chicken leg.
Oh, that used to be Robin, everybody's favorite, because that bat wing people that were unsuspecting or give him the old fly eyes.
I've walked into a bad situation. We won't even talk about it.
You remember we got Ryan with the fly eyes.
Oh yeah, that was great. God rest his soul.
For real, God rest that crazy fucker.
But that's going to do it for this week. Next week, we're going to come back. We're going to go over the few bowl games that we have that are going to be going on between our next show and the show after that. We're going to keep doing that throughout the games. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the bowl games, do some research, talk about a little more, do our picks. And guys, like I said, keep listening to us. The more you listen, the more we become popular, the chances of us getting some kind of contract or getting on air for real might happen. So make sure you guys go to our Facebook page, Burger and Badass Show at Facebook.com, or go to the Burger and Badass Show at YouTube.com.
We can't do it without y'all. I mean, listen, we are two guys just doing what we like here in South Carolina. I mean, it is fun for us, but remember, without you guys, we really can't make this thing an actual possibility. This isn't a reality without the audience. And we know that. And we're going to keep upping our game. Because whereas we started as amateurs, we will finish as professionals.
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
the motto is always going to be the same. We're just two guys from South Carolina.
Doing our picks.
And that's it. Like it's never going to change. Like we are going to keep true to our roots. No matter if we do make it, don't make it. We're not going to be those douchebags that everyone, oh, I used to know him, and then he got all big and got too good for us. That's not who we are, man. That's just not how we were raised. We were raised better than that. We're just some country boys that were raised better than that.
All right, guys. So we'll see you guys next week. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back again next Wednesday. We do it usually between 9:30 10 o'clock. We're going to, like I said, we're going to go over the bowl games and everything. And for Burger and Badass, thank you guys so much for listening. And for Burger and Badass, I like to say we'll see you guys next week. And Badass, you have anything to finish out with the show?
Cue the music.
Cue the music.